Hello， 大家好，我是RNG的少男 Breeze， 这是我第一次进世界赛，就感觉很新奇，很有新鲜感，也很有趣，然后也要让保持自己的状态，就是想好好表现。我的个人目标的话，就是我和我的队友都发挥的，让自己不留遗憾吧，然后我们联动能更好，就是这样的话，就是成绩，肯定是能更进一步是最好的，就向着最高的地方出发吧。就很谢谢一直以来支持我们的粉丝们嘛，然后也希望我们在世界赛上保持好状态，就是给他们看到很好的竞技状态，然后也给他们展现出很精彩的比赛吧。
Welcome back to Worlds 2022. It's so great to get to know RNG's Breathe a little better in that episode of 1+. Welcome to the Rift. RNG up on stage against Isurus Gaming in our next one. The stakes for this, as we've crossed the halfway point of the third day of play, elimination match for a team like Isurus Gaming. Things are starting to really ramp up here.
Yeah, unable to pick up the win. RNG also not exactly your general play-in opponent. It's going to be really tough for them to take down RNG.
Yeah, those. Speaking of RNG, right, while they are still very much a favorite, particularly here in the play-in stage, it was a rough start. But we are going to hand things over to our resident LPL expert here in Lyric to break down for us why RNG is such an awesome team in this edition of State Farm Neighborhood Tactics.
Yeah, you know, and coming off the shoey, we didn't want to pick the most analytical, thing to break down, but still, the thing we want to show is RNG going back to comfort, what they did in LPL, what they did at MSI, to be able to punish some mistakes coming out from Mad Lions. You can see here already, right? Xiaohu on the Galio, we have Ming on Engage as well. No more Enchanters, LPL, we hate them. And then, of course, Gala on something he loves, the Aphelios. We're just going to jump right into it, right? Because in this first clip, Mad Lions actually doing a pretty good job. They had just picked up Rift Herald. You can see they have set up in bot, already have this wave pushing in. So they feel pretty good about going for this play in mid lane with the numbers advantage. But one thing RNG have always done is they don't really mind contesting you even if they are a man down, if they feel like they have the tools available. They have a ton of CC and Burst with Galio, Graves, and Leona. And we're gonna see here, right? Mad Lions, standard, going for the push, have Herald 4 members already on the board. And it's gonna be right here where a bit of a mistake comes out from Mad Lions. You can see they get Herald down, they're already starting to back off, but actually it's Nisqy who wants to stay, tries to get the combo down, seismic shove, not able to land because you're against the Graves, can just dash out from it and get through, and it leaves Nisqy open to getting completely bursted out by the members of RNG. And now, sadly for Mad Lions, since the other members started to path down, they're not really in a position to where they can really hit anyone of note, right? Ming here to soak up all the damage. Trunda ultimate actually came out onto Xiaohu, which Unforgiven can't get any damage onto, and it just leaves RNG in a position where they can very easily take this fight. And again, just them punishing a mistake from Mad Lions, but this is one of the things that RNG have done so well throughout the years, knowing when they can be decisive and take these windows. Second clip, I think, is a lot more RNG. They're actually in a pretty nice advantage at this point in the game. We can see they actually have some pretty good vision set up already on the map. They just spotted Unforgiven. They have control wards trying to stop Mad Lions from being able to where they are on the map. And it's going to be this setup where, for Mad Lions, right, they're trying to force their way in to take this fight. Theoretically, want to start off with the front to back because they have 3 bruisers, a couple of tanks on the board, and try and get Nisqy and Unforgiven in a place to deal damage. But them doing that leaves them in a position where Xiaohu finds this beautiful flank. And I just want to pause it here because look at how much work he's already gotten done. We can see, like, Sum's already blown on this. He's half HP. Unforgiven, not in a place to deal damage. Kai'Sa actually forced to flash to stop and keep Xiaohu here from being able to get anything done. And it actually leaves Breathe and other RNG members in perfect scenarios. Like, think about it. You are Jax. You just want these endless 1v1s. So keep your eyes on Breathe because he's just going to keep going for this, running down the members of Mad Lions. And Chronicler put it great, right? It was a 1v1 into a 1v1 into a 1v1 that just put RNG in this position to really just explode the game.
Gotta love those. Gotta love those. And it's a terrifying RNG that is warmed up now in the tournament when it's a do or die matchup for Isurus Gaming. It's all kinds of pressure. We'll find out if they can live up to it as we head out to Quick Shot and Mark Z to get us into game.
Thank you so much, Dash. Welcome back to the Xiaohu Kai'Sa desk. We are in draft already for RNG taking on Isurus Gaming. My name is QuickShot and I'm joined by the lovely Mark Zimmerman. It is such a pleasure to get to Kai'Sa.
It's an honor. It's my first time with QuickShot. You've been here forever, it feels like. Old man of Europe.
Be gentle with me, Mark. I am an old man.
I mean, I am fake young. I'm 31. I don't know what you are, but let's ignore it. Let's get into the game, man.
We should indeed. What do you think of the bans so far? Aatrox open. Does Breathe want to run there? Does he want to run the blind pick Jax? It's something he's fantastic at.
I mean, I think the Renekton given away, or banned away, excuse me, is a bit of a telegraph that he does want to play a more aggressive match from the top side. Does not want to be playing that Aatrox Renekton side of it. And so probably giving the Aatrox over them, wanting to play Fiora himself. We always talk about the LPL tops and their Fioras. Hopefully you get to see one.
We'll see what happens in just a few moments. First pick was the Graves, followed up by the Misfortune and Blind Lillia now. We saw Lillia top lane earlier. It was okay. It did its job, I guess.
How dare you? I love the top Lillia tank with the not going for Leandries, instead going for the Riftmaker. That was a cool drain tank identity. Didn't end up, like you said, I thought it looked good. This will probably be jungle. I doubt you're just blinding it.
That was my guess too.
Not that strong. Aatrox taken in. I was speculating that they were leaving the Aatrox available after Graves takeaway and Renekton ban to play the other thing, but this is also one of the counter picks that was banned away for ADD.
I mean, the Aatrox pick is just so prolific this tournament. Breathe has only got 3 games played on it this summer. This year, in fact, only one of those was a victory. But I guess, I mean, are you not just kind of assuming that Lillia was obviously going to be picked integrates? What do you make of that matchup? Because we haven't seen that yet this tournament.
I mean, the Graves has been incredible for me, watching it when it's played well. There's plenty of times where it does get off the ground, but when you're able to get the clear down, you're able to get very far ahead of the pace of the game. Lillia is a champion I really enjoy playing. I love anything that can do that kind of drain-taking identity. I think the clear for the Lillia, it's not going to be able to punish Graves or anything like that. It can make some ganks happen, but we'll have to see.
Wait, is that locked in?
That's locked.
That's locked? Are we actually seeing ADD Teemo top? Mark,
We must be.
that is a thing. That is happening.
Is this a pocket pick of his that I am unaware of? I'm
Okay,
scrambling.
I heard it was in Champions Queue. While you look that up, ladies and gentlemen and everybody else, jump on social media, get every single person you know, and let them know that Teemo top is locked in at the world's play-in stage. Is this the dark tech to shut down the highest pick ban champion at Worlds this year?
Okay, so a couple things about Teemo. First up, never been played by ADD, has been played at Worlds, if I'm not mistaken. Did TSM not play way back in like a 2014, 2013 year? I believe they played a Teemo game, so I don't think this is the first Teemo ever at Worlds. The other reason to get your friends to watch this game is a lot of people hate Teemo. And given the matchup of the LPL playing against Isurus, you have to imagine this Teemo is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh,
So you might see a lot of Teemo deaths as well for all the Teemo haters out there.
unless this Teemo is so next level counter and he gets the mushrooms down and there's map hack wards to never get ganked. I'm believing in the Teemo. I'm believing in what could be the biggest upset on the planet, Teemo taking down RNG.
I mean, this is the stuff of legends.
Yes,
if
it is.
Isurus are able to pull this one off with Teemo, rest of the bans that came through, 2 supports, getting rid of some of the matchups or for Kai'Sa that you might want to pair up with. I expected Nautilus to be taken. Yeah, there it is, because obviously Kai'Sa loves playing with Nautilus. The fact that you banned out Alistar and Leona and left up the Nautilus means that that's going to be an obvious takeaway for the side of Jelly there. Going to pair that up with the Misfortune down bot lane, still a very strong pushing lane. And the buy coming in.
Oh, not
Nope,
just locked
okay.
in. Okay, swapped away the last second. I know that Chronicle on the analyst desk was actually a defender of the Vi, a fan of the Vi. I didn't love it on day one.
Yeah.
We ran that against DRX. I think the comp on day one didn't necessarily all add up. And now with the Sett locked in, presume that's going to be down in the bottom lane? Or where do you reckon that's going?
I mean, you could see some crazy flexes. You could always put Aatrox mid, depending on what you see, but most likely Sett's support for Ming.
Yeah.
And then they need some magic damage pretty badly here. I mean, you can always do some AP Kai'Sa builds if you really wanted to, but most likely mid lane coming in.
I took a quick look there. Ming has played support Sett 4 times this year. Only won 1 game on that particular champion. and Syndra has now been secured. Also, only one game played by Xiaohu. So a number of the champions here locked in for RNG are in the lower end of their most played for the season. I cannot wait to see what this last pick is going to be here for Isurus. And then I get to ask a question that so rarely happens in my professional career.
Uh-oh.
How did Isurus want to win with Teemo top? That's the question I can't wait to hear Mark answer.
Well, they also just took Sion, so I'm pretty sure that's not Teemo top.
Oh, wait.
We'll have to see if it's Teemo mid.
Sion mid?
Sion mid? Nautilus mid?
Okay, let me...
Lillia mid?
Let's take a look here.
I'm going to stop guessing until they actually do it.
Seiya mid lane has 0 Sion mid lane games. Last couple of seconds. The only reason I feel like that Teemo's going top is I know it was Champions Q, I know it was run into Aatrox, and I feel like 80% certain it was ADC himself that actually did that.
Well, and into Syndra, that sounds like poop.
That is awful.
Don't do that.
Awful. Okay, so there are compositions. We will be able to break those down. And Mark, you're going to have to tell me how.
I'll have plenty of time to talk about it.
You do indeed.
All right.
I'm getting an update.
You're getting an update?
I got to just note from production queue. Yesterday, in Chef's Queue, ADD played it and he won the game into Aatrox. I think on stage for Worlds is a slightly different beast. Very quickly before we get in, we ran out of time beforehand. Why is this horrible thing on my desk?
Jojo Pune's birthday. Jojo the Bald Eagle, also turning a bit older today, was constructed at my home on Tuesday. Now he's a year older, and Dash was right. The unicorn is the only way to wear the party hat. I think it was Dash who said that.
Happy birthday, Jojo, and the only way to wear the party hat, Dash, I guess, for that advice. We'll put the bird down for now. CG winning their game, and the fact that we saw Fnatic losing their game, we could be set up for a tiebreaker game tomorrow, pending the rest of the results. But now we're going to do is bring our attention back to Summoner's Rift, back to RNG taking on Isurus Gaming. Sion in the mid lane, Teemo in the top lane.
Oh boy. All right, let's talk about it. So range into Aatrox is one of the common things that you see people go for. That's why you do things like Kennen and whatnot. Teemo will have the range advantage, but a lot of the time your auto attacks are going to be in range of Q1, so there will be a large focus on ADD to avoid being hit by that ability. Most likely going to be Emax, seems to be looking at Master's data on it. The preferred build that they go for that consistent damage, weaving in autos, kind of kiting out that Aatrox.
Well, listen, you just talked about how Teemo's so good into those melee matchups. I do want to reference one other melee matchup, Nasus. Make sure to grab your exclusive Very Nasus Much WoW emote from Prime Gaming by connecting a League of Legends account with your Prime account. And you can see all the details on your screen. I don't think I had that segue quite as good as Freak did yesterday, but I will work on it, team. I will get back to it.
People do often play Teemo into Nasus. You get to blind him when he tries to get his Q stacks up. A similar thing here for also Aatrox passive when he tries to get the steal on you, the extra healing from when that comes up. You can blind him when he's trying to auto you during that time period.
You truly made that bad link I did much better by
marginally better
this game. Oh man. Okay, so we saw ADD already. He was stealthed up in lane, trying to do the same thing again. Breathe is just waiting before the minions die. And I imagine the observers will be watching this matchup a lot, and I imagine Breathe is gonna hate his life for the opening few levels.
I assume it'll be somewhat difficult. I mean, if you do land the Q-tippers, you're not feeling too bad. As you see, indeed, E taking level 1, getting chased down here.
Yeah, there we go. He's going to land on that Dark and Blade, continues to chase, gets another proc, and ADD getting dunked on for now. Still doesn't have access to that blinding dart. And trying to get that poison ticked up. I cannot believe we're actually casting a tick. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's just a 0-2 in the group stage. You need to get enough wins to be in contest for those top 4 spots.
Well, and, I mean, even though RNG is 1-1 right now, they were expected to basically be the big favorites for this group. They're a very tough team, and people talk about when you're playing against teams that you are expected to lose to, throwing something that they haven't seen at them. So obviously, the Sion mid, which we haven't even touched on very much, being another big component that they want to get on top of this Teemo early, though.
ADD's going to get jumped on. Mark, you called it in draft. You predicted it. The most hated champion is now locked inside the smoke screen. It's chunked down and taken down. The hamster is obliterated as the observers zoom in.
Everyone's eating good tonight. Teemo fans get to see him played at Worlds. Teemo haters get to see him clapped up, probably. It is a champion that you can obviously get on top of. The only defensive thing he has pre-level 6 before he gets those mushrooms is the move quick on W. And, you know, that's not that great of an escape when Graves is already showing up behind you.
Not at all. And down in the bottom lane, Ming and Sett's going to be able to pull Jelly forward. get a burst of damage onto Gavotto as this gigantic minion wave is shoved all the way under tower. That's going to unlock already an early roam, and Wei continues to apply pressure. I mean, going to dash over with that quick draw, gets a lot of damage down. The minions are currently blocking. He's run out of ammo. Xiaohu will force the flash, and here comes Grell. Not going to be able to do anything with that boulder toss, and Xiaohu and Wei, they'll get themselves another summer spell. 2 successful ganks already at 3.5 minutes mark. This is already looking problematic, shall we say.
Yeah, I like what Wei's done so far. He kind of left his entire bot side of the camps up so that he could go ahead and just impact these side lanes early on, solo lanes early on. Getting up there, killing Teemo, now getting mid lane, some sums down as well. Flash out on the Sion. You're concerned, of course, about Sion just doing these kinds of like AFK pushes and then roams around the map. There's nothing to me that screams like this is a Sion angle. I don't know what makes a Sion mid angle. I'm not Doinby, to be honest. But apparently he saw something here.
Well, we'll find out whether or not Seiya can make anything work. Jelly's going to use that dredge line to run to safety once again. There's a 12 CS advantage in the bottom lane for Gala and Ming already. Every time the camera comes down, they are pushing Isurus's duo backwards. ADD, every time we look at him, he is being poked down a fort, at least by Breeze, so they're dead even on CS. And Seiya's flashless in that middle lane, so if Wei decides to show back up, it is a scary prospect. Admittedly, it gets a little bit more difficult and challenging to kill. There's a lot of burst on Graves and Syndra, but I don't think they're going to have enough just yet. And here comes Wei again, Mark.
Yep, no wards out in the bot lane. Easy angle here.
He's going to force the flash, dredge line to the wall. He's going to land the smoke screen, looking for the end of the line. We'll be able to bounce it off the wall and drop Jelly to 200. Now here comes Grell. That's the flash forward, but that will concede the kill. Jelly's already down and Wei escapes with his life. Flash quick draw to safety. The 2-man pullback for RNG, and Grell goes to hell as Gala sends him packing on the Kai'Sa, and Gavotto escapes with his life.
Wei is all over the map. 3 lanes visited already in the first 5 minutes of the game. 3 kills as well. He only gets assists. He's being a team player, setting them up for the people in the lanes. You don't always see it out of Graves.
No, you really don't. And we've seen how much burst damage those Graves can have. I mean, Isurus just needed time to scale. They needed to get their Teemo and their Sion stacks up.
Not even true. Do you outscale Kai'Sa? I don't think you do.
No. I'm just trying to think of some ways to buy time, but ultimately Wei is just dominating the game.
Yeah, it was a nice flash reaction by Gavotto getting out of there, making sure he wasn't stunned up by Ming, but this re-engage with Jelly at basically no HP means that you know you're dying when you go in there. You're just hoping to set up Wei. Wei does still have his flash to get away from Grell, trying to land that 3-man Q combination, just doesn't quite have enough damage. Then Ming's E has come back up. It's a very long cooldown, but given that that was what started this entire sequence, it does come up in time for them to find the second kill.
I mean, so nicely done here. Plus 2,500 gold already. Yeah, Umbral Chains pulls ADD backwards. Breeze's not going to want to fight into that mini wave, pick up the cannon creep. He's still in the advantage. World Ender down. Gonna land, look for the docking blade, doesn't land it though.
All right, got boost of swiftness, because like we were saying, the Q minigame is kind of what Teemo lives or does. That's so funny.
You can't see me.
You can't see me if you can't see me. Excellent play there by the Teemo, standing still, pressing S on the keyboard. Absolutely giant brains.
I will tell you though, if a showstopper comes down, collateral damage, even though you're invisible, the skill shot still hits.
Well, Syndra also is actually very annoying because your E just kind of blasts through and it's like, all right, there you are, I found you. So a lot of damage that can still kind of come out without being targeted.
Ming is chasing. Ming is chasing. We're going to land the face breaker, the haymaker, and all of the knuckle down damage, and Gavotto's gone. Jelly's popped as well. That's a double for the support set. And this is looking rough, and it's extra rough when you remember that Isurus are sitting in Mexico City as well. They ran the Teemo, and they are being
but how crazy did the fans go in Champ Select? This comp power spikes in Champ Select. It's all downhill once you actually load onto the Rift, but like, goddamn, in the first couple minutes when you're swapping the champs around, people are losing their minds and you're dominating your opponent.
Actually, until level 2, ADD I think was winning that lane as well. You know,
arguably, Breathe was getting the trades.
Damn it, Mark, let me have my fun.
I mean, this is just too easy. The wave is frozen. Obviously, the Lillia not in there to try and help protect them as this wave's coming in. It's just a revisit by Wei. Nice setup there by Ming as well. Double kill now. So difficult for Isurus to play out from here. I wasn't exactly sure what the comp was going for because it's not like Teemo's this insane, like, snowball topside with a... Oh, he's gonna die again. Yeah,
He managed to flash to safety. I think the chain flash actually got him out of range of the Q, if I read that correctly. Oh, man. I wonder who was playing the Aatrox in Champions Q. I don't know if you can get that info. Maybe production can look it up for us.
Yeah, was it on the level of Breathe?
That
were you?
Was where I was wondering.
No offense to people. I don't know who I want to shade here.
You are digging this hole yourself, bro.
I was gonna throw Lorlo's name out there just as a joke, but like I don't want to actually really like Lorlo.
So you just threw it out.
I'm just
anyway.
saying, Breathe. You know, is a very, very good Aatrox player.
I tell you what, though, Breathe has had a great players tournament so far, Mark, and right now he's doing the same thing. I mean, look at the CS numbers here. Up in the bottom lane, up in the top lane, it's 4,000 gold at 8 minutes. On average, RNG are pulling 500 gold ahead per minute over Isurus.
Yes, they are doing incredible this game, and as much as we're memeing kind of what's happening on the Rift, the importance of this game, I feel like, should not be understated, because RNG is sitting at 1 win right now in the group, potentially 2 here. They are in 4th place, actually, in the group, just based off the current standing. If they win this game, they'll be slightly ahead of Saigon, who's at 2-2, but then you also have Mad at 3-1 and DRX at 3-0, and you were coming in expected to dominate this group. Everyone's like, MSI champions, LPL so stacked, they have 6 teams who can win Worlds.
ADC is being supported here. Grell manages to help pick up the kill, and listen to the crowd going mad. I do like the direction you're going, though, because RNG will be playing Saigon Buffalo tomorrow. You still anticipate they should be able to manage the aggression the Buffaloes throw down. But more importantly for me, DRX Mad. I want to live in the Hopium world. If Mad take down DRX, we could have a 3-way tie at the top of the table. That means tiebreaker games, baby. And you know Europe loves their ties.
Everyone loves their tiebreakers. It'll be crazy, too, because that also means that, you know, if that doesn't happen, maybe RNG is playing in the 3rd, 4th match, and then whoever's sitting in Group A on the 2nd seed has to deal with RNG coming at them. So a lot of people watching this game with, you know, trying to see what RNG is showing here. The first kill on the Breathe, though. Teemo's, you know, on the board, getting going.
I mean, Grell, he got the assist. Grell kills secure, or secured the kill is the way I should have said that. But this is an uphill battle. I'm going to do something that's super not fair here. But Mark, when you're down 3,000 gold, 10 minutes, and a dragon,
yes.
How should Isurus play this in theory to try and claw the game back?
Well, I'm very experienced playing from this position, but I don't know how to win from it.
Ah.
I find myself down quite a bit in a lot of games. I think, like, realistically, if this is somehow going to... Oh, hold on.
Yeah, this needs to stop happening. This needs to stop happening. Showstopper comes out. Gala's still got the killer instinct available to him. Repositions. Hasn't yet found the final shot, but the ball tag goes down. Gala summon a heal. Keeps him alive before Wei secures the kill. Grell gets another back. 1-for-1 in the bottom lane, but that is Seiya who gets stunned up from Scatter the Weak, and now Jelly's in the fray. Definitely got too much jelly for this setup and backing out. Okay,
1-for-1. That's not too bad for Isurus. The fact that they were able to get that kill did go onto the Lillia as well for Grell, but unfortunately they're all so low on the tail end of that they're going to lose at least 4 turret plates down here, probably the entire turret, given that there's nothing else that RNG needs to respond to on the map. They can stay down here and actually finish this turret off. And now we see up in the top side, no flash for the Teemo.
Oh, 0-2-1. Breathe gets another solo kill. The idea or the concept that I was pitching in draft that Teemo was the counter that worked in Champions Q, not working out today on the big stage.
No, not working out. I think, like, when you're asking how can they win, you talk about stop the bleeding in the bot lane, maybe keep making plays happen in the top side. You start getting that kind of landmine-filled top side of the map where you just have all these mushrooms down and Teemo can push. But realistically now, you're so far behind the Aatrox, who is probably getting pretty close to Eclipse money with that kill and the turret plates that he's getting now.
I mean, at the end of the day, Grell, can you handle this? Seiya, can you handle this? Gavotto, can you handle this? Because ADD is being bullied, and I don't know if they're ready for this. ADD, once again, going to have some support from Grell. 2-1. He's got the mask completed, and Breathe, flash available, no world end up. He's going to take the Q. There is a lot of support coming. The entirety of Royal never give up. Grell's already used that ultimate. Put Breathe to sleep. Blooming blows come out, and ADD will find the reply kill. Ming is now keeping Seiya and Jelly busy as Grell gets taken out in the top lane. It ends up being a 1-for-2 in favor of RNG.
RNG are able to collapse. Breathe does a good job kiting that one out. Almost killed them by himself. Was getting a lot of damage done there, but now with the collapse coming in, also top turret plate's going to start going down. Gold lead going from bad to worse.
I think this is going to be on track for the largest gold lead at 15 minutes. I will take note of it and double check that with the stats team, but it is running away. Multiple plates, the tower down bottom, 6 kills to Dragon. I mean, Infernal's up in 2 minutes as well. It has been a masterclass in how to kill your opponents. just using literally the comp that RNG put together.
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of been dominating them in most of the lanes. Mid lane's probably been the least interactive one, but that is kind of how a lot of Sions go. You just kind of EQ the wave, the other person goes, darn it, all right. But Xiaohu has gone and been on the map. He was actually in that bot lane play first. It was Seiya ulting down there. Xiaohu has always been such an incredible team player roaming around the map. And even in a matchup where the other guy should have that advantage, Xiaohu is still making the plays happen.
And you know, because of all of the excitement from draft and some of the surprises, we haven't even spent like 5 minutes celebrating Gala and Kai'Sa. You know, that's the signature champ. I mean, there'll be some people on social media being like, come on, we're 13 minutes in, you haven't said it?
Yeah, sorry, I was talking about Teemo.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, Gala on one of his signature champions is why also one of the reasons that people were so excited about RNG this Worlds was it felt like the meta was potentially shifting towards Ming and Gala's favor. Ming as well, for me, has always been much more of the engaged support. His Nautilus is absolutely disgusting. And when you had this kind of Enchanter heavy meta, it did not feel like what Ming's strengths are, which is, for me, engaging and making plays around the map.
I've got some meaningful stats for you in just a moment. Seiya's going to get jumped. A lot of bursts from these two champions, but it will take a lot to burn through this Sion. And he's made his way up as well. There's a couple of pings, a lot of vision from RNG. But very briefly, Gala's played Kai'Sa 5 times this year. All 5 of them are victories, undefeated. In terms of his total professional games, 80 completed, and he's leaning on that right now to find another kill with the help of Ming. Just to put some numbers in, I mentioned this day before yesterday when I was casting, but most played 80 professional games, 65% win rate on Kai'Sa for Gala. His next most played is Aphelios at 56. You know what, champions are pretty dominant in the meta so far in play-ins. Both of those looking pretty good.
Yeah, looking pretty good for RNG. Not looking so good for the Teemo.
No.
The roaming Teemo, not necessarily what you are known for.
Who would have guessed?
The flanking Teemo coming in with the blind. Uh-oh.
Oh, my words. No, that's a lot of damage. Jelly's taken down. Bullet time once again thwarted by the heal, and I love the thumbs up.
Did pad the DPM numbers, though, so on the post-game breakdown graphic will look a little bit better. You're playing for that kind of right now, maybe.
I used to play a lot of Battlefield 2 many years ago, and that tracked everything from like steps in-game to heals, revives, things like that. And I exclusively played the medic class because I could pad all my stats, and I just got all the points. So it was like,
you get more XP grinding as well. Yeah.
Look at total gold. That tells you something. Grell with the 2 kills, the only member competing to RNG, and then every other member of RNG. But look, when you got, what, 8,000 gold at 15 minutes, it's significant.
Yeah, I wonder if we did one of those side boops that come out from the left side that show the gold. I want to see if RNG is richer than literally every member of Isurus. I can check myself, but I just want to see how it looks.
Yeah, it's gonna look as the Aussie casters would say, disgusting.
I know it looks funny, so hopefully we I don't know if production was ready for me to hot potato them and suggest
normally young Padawan use the talkback, so you can prep them. It looks smooth.
No, this is like collaborative. Now Twitch chat gets to listen. I'm sure.
Production team scrambling. Where's the button? Where's the button?
Yeah, so the reason I brought it up is because the only person who is not an Isurus who is above someone in RNG is actually Grell, being above Ming. But other than that, it's only a couple hundred away too. So if RNG win one more fight, they might have the 5 richest members on their team.
Also, take that for a second. This is Jungler, 116 CS behind the 403, or just ahead of 403 support Sett. Another tower, and the Rift Herald gets charged down onto the middle. It's swapped, and they're approaching 10k.
Yeah, this is getting very difficult to see how Isurus has any way back in the game. RNG, I assume that they're just going to try and slam this game. They do have another game later today, so I think that they will probably want to get out of this one as fast as they can, start getting ready for that second game.
The Wildcats will probably not be considering Teemo.
You don't think they've exposed? Sometimes.
No, I don't think so.
Here's the thing, Trevor.
Okay.
Sometimes the team that finds the blueprint doesn't actually win the game. They didn't have the skill to necessarily execute it or something. They had a bad coin flip level 1, you know. But you showed the weaknesses in RNG of the Aatrox Teemo matchup. So now Wildcats just need to take it.
I would look into my crystal ball, and I would say the team most likely to try Teemo top into Aatrox, out of all teams competing at Worlds, I believe would be G2 Esports with Broken Blade playing. I think they would be the ones I would make on my 50-50 prediction. As now Seiya is being chunked out and run down once again by the Graves Syndra combo. Forces the flash, follow-up flash from way 1,500. ADD's blown up, solo killed once again. Stats team, can we track how many solo kills Aatrox has onto Teemo? The unstoppable charge comes out from the mid lane. There's Seiya running away in the bottom lane. And this is just
This
chaos.
game is massive.
We've descended into chaos. That's
The
what we've
funniest
descended.
thing is watching Wei and Xiaohu. Hold on, I don't even have time to talk.
No, you do not. Killer instinct used and Gavotto taken down. 13 kills, 18 minutes, over 10,000 gold to lead. I will confirm that at 7.5k, lead of 50 minutes, this was the largest gold lead. I believe that's either way, this game has the largest gold lead of 50 minutes.
Okay, so there's not enough cameras to catch all the action. We need like one of those reaction Andy cam things, you know, where there's like 6 people deep reacting to each other. We need around that many cameras to capture all the action because actually Jelly roamed topside and got the shutdown onto Breathe after the solo kill happened. In the bot lane, what was funny was the fact that Xiaohu and Wei both jumped in front of Seiya to stop him from ulting back to his base. So that Seiya's like, screw it, and he ults back towards RNG's side of the map to actually not die and get a recall off. It actually worked, hilariously enough, burning the flashes of the 2 opponents, going up in that summoner trade, and then mid lane, yeah, we saw that one on camera.
Completely trading sides of the map. Sorry, just take everything. I will say though, this is a tough game for Isurus. It's a tough position to be in. Like, they were such heavy underdogs. You take a swing with a Teemo, it doesn't work. But do spare a thought, not only for the players on stage that are 0-2 in play-ins, they're in front of the Mexico City crowd. They are playing DRX in game 8 of the day as well. Like, if there were ever the toughest day of play-ins, there's an argument to be made that Isurus is having it right now. So once again, RNG are just stepping away from. I mean, Baron is only spawning in 20 seconds. It cannot be taken yet.
No, I mean, when you make that point about toughest day for play-ins ever, I don't even think it's really arguable.
Yeah.
The LPL and LCK having a 4th seed.
Yeah.
And then to also have it be RNG, who just won MSI, and even DRX, while they were struggling domestically a little bit, people were debating should it have been Sandbox or not when it happened. At the end of the day, they look much better right now. Deft is playing incredible. The Pioshek Juhan situation, while they're still seeming to sort it out, both junglers look pretty good. They're undefeated. So I think this is a situation where, yeah, anyone who ended up in Group B, you're like, what the hell? In any other year, maybe we could have done something, but this is a tough draw.
It is so difficult. Isurus now they continually just, I mean, look at the minimap. Great vision toggle there by the observers. There's RNG and now going to start grouping up. I wonder if they are just going to try and make a move for Baron. They have so much damage across this entire composition. Even if Isurus step forward, 10,000 gold lead now. That's where he's going to dash away the use of that end of the line. Okay, Dragon Spawn. So this is the 3rd at 20. I don't think we're on par to break the fastest win at Worlds, despite seeing the largest gold lead. Unless this is a clean ace and RNG fancy stepping forward. Scout of the week, collateral damage. Grell's running for his life, burns to death. The bullet time will take out at least Xiaohu, and Gala will reposition with the ultimate. He's got himself one, looking for another. Gavotto is firing auto and double ups after one another, but there's simply too little, too late, and they are too far behind.
Isurus do get 2 back though, getting the kill onto Xiaohu and Ming. With that though, it looks like RNG feel confident enough to still charge towards this Baron, leaving that 3rd dragon up. They have plenty of damage. Graves, very strong. Kai'Sa as well, 2 items, as well as just being one of the best champions in the game at dealing with the Baron buff, the damage from her passive plasma, destroying max health. And there you see it's gone.
Oh my word, 21.5 minutes. Baron here is secured. Mark, yeah, I get now. I put myself in the shoes of the fans watching in the venue. And it is fun watching how good RNG is, but it must be really heartbreaking to see these small moments. Like, even in a 10k deficit, the damage that does come out from Grell and Gavotto respectively, at least they get some kills, but it's like so non-impactful.
Even the Xiaohu damage, I think that was just a QE, that half health Grell there. Gavotto did have some good ultimates this game. He's been able to find some clamps in some situations where RNG just thinks that they can face plant into you, and he's able to help get 2 of those kills, but does get dropped as well. It is, I would say, hopeless.
Yeah.
But, you know, Isurus coming to contest their dragon. If they can stall this one out, maybe start stacking them themselves. Somehow they end up with 4 dragons. RNG somehow die fountain. You know, like there's comeback.
There's the words you're saying make sense.
I'm trying to say them with as much like chest as I can. Like I really believe them. Like,
I'm feeling it. My word, even Sion is getting chunked out. Did you see the scat of the week on the Dark Sphere? Seiya's already done 80%. That's the tankiest member of Isurus Gaming. Teleport's going to be channeled here and completed. This is for Dragon number 3. 20 minutes. Bullet time's up. Gavotto's 2 levels down. Breathe is looking for the flank. ADD gets the blind. The poison dart knocked up by the Darkin Blade and will be pulled backwards by the Infernal Chains. He is once again solo killed by Breeze Aatrox. Ming continues to hammer away on Isurus. 1, 2, 3 members dead. The pony will get popped. Just like that, and the ace secured for RNG.
Wei grabbing a triple kill on the tail end of that fight. That probably is the game with the Baron buff coming up, or still on them, 20 seconds before anyone resurrects. Wei was the one who turned this game on its head immediately, ganked all 3 lanes in the first 5 minutes of the game, and now getting the rewards at the end.
I mean, Wei is just playing way away from the rest of the team. The only member to not concede a death. He was everywhere at all times, 15 kills. RNG are going to play this one a little bit respectfully. There were only 20-odd second death timers, so they decided to just get the inhibitor and step out. We're approaching 18,000 gold lead. Might be able to break 20k as far as this advantage goes. And for RNG, what that will mean is they'll be looking at 2-1 as when they close this out. They play the Wildcats a little bit later, so another expected to be one-sided game. But I think more importantly, the ramifications for the group looking tomorrow, the 6 games planned, any potential tiebreakers will happen at the end of the day, and the Analyst desk will keep you up to date as Breathe is now stepping forward. I'm going to check how many solo kills he's picked up throughout the course of this one.
It's been a couple. Not a solo kill there, though. Xiaohu and Ming ruining that one.
I tell you something, the production team and the stats team are on point today. Breathe has 3 solo kills this game. It's the most for any player at the tournament thus far. Gala will be stepping forward. Wei will get himself the 5th kill of the game. 5-0-11. Gala picks up another. And Red Bull Baron power play has timed up, but they are not going to need it. Quick draw over the wall. Auto after auto. Gala's going to be able to land the W, continue chasing, and seiya will say, see ya! Isurus are going down.
Really concerning for Breathe, not having high kill participation in the 28-kill game, having the solo kills. Really clearly not on the same page with his team.
You know what? I think if he was more committed to the team play instead of going for those solo kills, you know, those solo bolos, the outplays, he might be more of a boss for his team.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see such a greedy player, such a selfish player going for the solo kills.
I wish you could have seen how deadly serious both Mark and my faces were. We talked at one another during that last little sequence. RNG have crested 20,000 gold in the lead. The 3rd inhibitor will fall in just a moment. Bullet time is interrupted. That's Syndra. And once again, the Dark Blade continues to chase. The inhibitor does stay standing, pulled backwards. Another ace. The base is going to be complete tatters. 32 kills, 61,000 gold, 25-minute win, and it has been all RNG all day.
And Ming popping off 7 kills and 17 assists on the set. The support getting the 2nd most kills in the entire game. Absolutely smurfing this one.
39 kills. That might also be the largest kills or the most kills secured in a single game. On day 1, 34 kills combined was the record. I believe yesterday 37 kills combined. Today, RNG got 33 kills alone against Isurus. They secured 6 for themselves. So obviously for RNG, it's an anticipated win. For Isurus, a heartbreaking one. They took a swing, it didn't land.
Yeah, and you can see their faces. Obviously, knew that they were up against the behemoth of an opponent, but I still think they would have liked to have shown what they were looking for with this comp. The fact that it so quickly went off the rails is probably what feels worse than just the loss.
The thing is as well, regardless of what that top lane pick was, that Graves that was locked in, first pick here for RNG, an argument could be made it would have done exactly the same things. Had that wave stay been in a similar position. Wei took over the game regardless of the champions. Coming back from that deficit just becomes significantly harder than because of the champions.
Yeah, I think, in their minds, they're like, all right, well, the Lillia, and we'll try and play safe till 6, then maybe all the mushrooms can come down. That'll buy space for this pick of the Teemo to go topside. Maybe we have the Sion ulting around the map, the Lillia able to land these kinds of long-range sleeps and whatnot, but not able to do it. And there's that graphic that we were talking about, why this win was so important for RNG, clawing closer to the #1 and #2 positions and able to tie Saigon in wins.
Okay, so Saigon Buffalo tomorrow will be playing RNG. That'll be the last game of the group for them. Then later today, Istanbul Wildcats will be up. So that battle for 1st, 2nd, 3rd in terms of order qualification and then the playoff seeding will be very, very intriguing. The expectation is that DRX are going 5-0, I think. I think that's it. Okay, MSI champs, RNG make quick work of Isurus. While both teams are ready up for their next games, we're back over to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, gents. RNG continue to ramp up through the tournament. An incredibly dominant win here over Isurus Gaming. And that's kind of where I want to start. The casters were having a conversation about what a day Isurus Gaming has in front of them.
So they have RNG, then they have to play DRX. By the way, if they don't beat DRX, they're eliminated from Worlds. So this is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a fine day.
It's rough, right? They started off with like Mad and Saigon Buffalo on their schedule. Those are like the teams you need to beat. And now having to go through RNG and DRX in, the same days.
Yeah, the reality, we already talked about how difficult this group is, right, for anybody to get placed into. And then, yes, for both of those teams to be on your second day when the stakes continue to rise, that's really, I think, what it is for Isurus and what they're fighting against. When it comes to champion select, I mean, let's be honest. We talk all the time about when you're the team that is expected to lose, it is typically about finding something different and unique. They reached for the Teemo. Okay, it wasn't it, but also not entirely unexpected, Jat, according to you.
I think this was a good draft considering the circumstances. I know that sounds ridiculous when they died like 32 times, but they practiced Zillion top, ADD did, then they played it on stage, didn't quite work. But
in Champions
Queue. It worked a little bit early in Champions Queue. And last night I saw ADD playing Teemo top, and in the back of my head I'm like, I mean, they got these teams tomorrow. They're definitely desperate.
Yeah,
and they tried it.
It was a good call, right? And kind of moving over to the side of RNG real quick, I just want to say again, I am so happy RNG are picking champions that we've seen them play throughout their careers. Ming going back to the Sett, Gala finally picking up Kai'Sa, and then Xiaohu, like Syndra right now, I feel like everyone thinks his champion is really incredibly weak, but it's the champion when he started his career in the LPL that he was known for. So, Isurus going towards creativity and RNG going towards comfort.
Yeah, I mean, this does feel like the perfect meta for Gala. Back on the Kai'Sa, of course. You heard a quick shot with the stats, though, as well. Career-wise, second most played champion is the Aphelios. And while we continue to see Kallista's typically on the ban table and Aphelios being a secondary champion to jump to, like, this RNG squad, as they're finding form, is just, my confidence is only growing around them.
Even Tristana, like when I think of Gala, I think of Kai'Sa, Tristana, and Aphelios. And it's like, okay, all three champions are in meta, all three champions are playable. That's why that day one draft was so weird. So RNG now, after having some time to acclimate, some time on stage, finally figuring it out.
And Ming's looking good next to him. I mean, like, the support Sett look was phenomenal as well. We saw the second most kills in the game going to the support. That's got to feel good. And so, again, when the meta seems to suit Gala, but also seems to suit his support, bot lane is not somewhere you want to go against RNG.
Yeah, I'd say they're now warmed up.
Officially?
Yeah, they're officially
Are your crystal balls ready to go now?
It's better, actually.
What temperature would you say they're at?
Are we Fahrenheit?
Or Celsius? Or Kelvin?
Yeah, I'm going to go Fahrenheit.
Okay.
They are at like 130 degrees. So it's not going to burn your tongue.
No.
It's going to be a nice, warm liquid.
All right.
That might be too hot.
I think
don't actually know how warm.
That's probably a good
like
initial coffee temp, you know? And then you got to let it cool down a little bit.
There was that McDonald's lawsuit. I think that was 190. Yeah, that's too hot. So
you don't want to get that hot, RNG.
No.
Just stick it at 130 Fahrenheit mark that you're at. Quick math, Celsius.
Yeah, of what?
Of that, 130 down to Celsius.
Oh my God.
Good luck. While he figures that out, we're
64.
stepping away as we go. Check out the next installment of One Plus Cam as we get a behind the scenes look at our pros in the heart of beautiful Mexico City.
RNG fancy stepping forward, scatter the weak, collateral damage. Grell's running for his life, burns to death. The bullet time will take out at least Xiaohu, and Gala will reposition with the ultimate. He's got himself one, looking for another. Gavotto is firing also and double ups after one another, but there's simply too little, too late, and they are too far behind. By the infernal chains, he is once again solo killed by Breeze Aatrox. Ming continues to hammer away on Isurus. 1, 2, 3 members dead. The pony will get popped just like that, and the ace secured for RNG.